Good morning. Hoping this is working. It says I'm live. I never quite know with this. So, good morning. Good morning. And I wanted to talk to you today about what we are asking and have, what we have done, um, and what our latest campaign is. So, we here at Essex are always asking for people to change, businesses to change, governments to change, and coming up with ideas and suggestions. Um, but today we are launching our biggest campaign, which, and I say it's our biggest campaign, it actually means it's being sent out to all schools in Essex, which is the biggest kind of communication we've ever had, I suppose. And this has come from last year when I did a little bit of research about Christmas and Christmas cards and discovered how bad Christmas cards are. And what I mean by that is the carbon footprint of cards is pretty terrible. Approximately 1.5 billion cards are sent in the UK every Christmas. It takes 3,000, when I say 3,000, it's only 3,000 cards for one tree. So I haven't done the maths actually, I should have done, shouldn't I? How many trees are then chopped down for our card giving tradition? A lot. If you divide 1.5 billion by 3,000. Anyone that wants to do the maths, please let me know what that is. And in a primary school, so if we take an average primary school, so if there are 30 children in a class, and each child sends a card to their friends in their class, so I send it to everyone in their class, and I'm saying approximately 30 by the way, every single class uses up 900 cards and 900 envelopes, as long as they haven't made it themselves. And so I think that's a pretty astonishing figure, 900 per school class. So then, if you do the math for your own school, you could kind of get an exact figure, but approximately for a primary school with just one class per year, it's 6,000 cards for the school. Two classes is about 12,000, and those bigger primary schools that have got three classes per year, you're looking at between 18 and 19,000 cards for the school, plus the envelope, so you're looking at 36,000 pieces of paper per school. So what I have done with the maths of working out how many cards per tree, so therefore the bigger primary schools, those that are getting through 18, 19,000 worth of cards, mean that school is responsible for selling 6 trees. And I think when you relate it to what it actually is, the root of what is happening, when we can emotionally connect, thank you for doing the math, over 1 million trees, bloody hell, just for Christmas cards, you know, 1 million trees, like, you can't get your head around that. 1 million trees just for doing Christmas cards that after 2-3 weeks end up in the bin, like, it's just, I just can't get my head around it, to be honest. Where was I? Yeah, when you can connect emotion with what we're doing, which is what most of us don't do because it's just part of our everyday life, so you don't really connect with it. But when you do connect with it, so say, Suze, you've written that figure for us. If you saw 1 million trees in a forest, and I was to say to you, these are all going to get chopped down this week, Christmas, you'd be disgusted and you would stop sending the cards. But because we don't see the trees being chopped down, we just live in our own little world of ignorance. And when I say we, like, I am referring to myself here. Like, I've been in this position. I've just, I'm a bit further along my eco journey now, but I wasn't. So we don't connect with it, and we just kind of go, yeah, Christmas cards, fabulous, lovely. and it's just hideous. So anyway, on a positive note, and taking a positive thing from COVID, I mean, we all know that COVID has meant an excess of PPE and single-use plastic in other ways. I still believe and I still have hope that something positive will come from COVID from an environmental perspective. And so I'm trying to make the most of that opportunity. So what we have done today is we have emailed, or in the process of emailing these schools today, asking for them to review and suggest a new Christmas card policy from this year onwards. And that's because this year, I tried it last year. I don't feel the campaign worked. It didn't have as big an impact as I wanted, and I had a bit of backlash for being a bit of a party pooper, to be fair. So this year we're campaigning again and saying actually from the perspective of COVID and health and safety with regarding exchanging cards, that we want from this year onwards, so beyond COVID, so from this year onwards, we are asking for schools to review their Christmas card policy. I don't know what control schools can actually have with regarding physically stopping people doing it. I don't know. This is why I'm kind of making it as a suggestion, and schools may not be able to like 100% enforce it, but they can at least encourage this review of the policy. And we come up with different suggestions. Like, we don't want to be part of this. We don't want to be a Scrooge and cancel Christmas. God no, like, it's a lovely time of year. But we need to review what we're doing. Our normal behaviours and our normal traditions cannot continue, guys. I'm sorry. And I know we don't want to hear it. I know we all just want to live in our bubble of ignorance. Oh, hi, Hannah. Sorry, I haven't noticed you there. We have to change. So anyway, so me and Hannah have come up with some suggestions, other ideas, and you can do this as well. This isn't just for schools, but we feel strongly that schools and businesses and government sectors can have a bigger impact than us as individuals making changes. But it's a combination of all of us. So we can make the individual changes, and then we campaign with schools to make a bigger impact over, bigger group of people, really. So we can all do that. So alternatives could be you do a Secret Santa card, which is where you pull a name out of a hat or whatever, however you want to do it. And then you make a card for that one person. So everyone in the class, for example, would get a card, but you don't know who you're getting it from, you don't know who you're giving it to. So it's a bit of a surprise, really. You could, Hannah's suggestion was about having a card, probably be the biggest card, one biggest card, and everybody gives. And then everyone can write their names in each card, so they have to practice their name 30 times, which is good for handwriting. Not necessarily quite so good for the COVID thing of like sharing cards, don't know. But then everybody gets one big card with all their friends' names on it. Then we've got e-cards. Friends of the Earth, which is a great charity, are doing e-cards where you do a donation for the e-cards. And we've got donation ideas instead. So instead of actually having trees chopped down for your cards, that you donate to a charity to plant trees. And we are collaborating with Once Upon a Tree as well with this campaign, who predominantly work in the South End area, but we're trying to get across over Essex as well. And they are working with councils to try and encourage planting of more trees, getting more green coverage, as well as, trying to prevent trees being chopped down unnecessarily, etc., and maintaining trees for as long as possible before they have to go. So they're doing great things around trees. So instead of cutting down a tree, plant a tree. Like, there's loads of alternatives. And so I just want us all to think about card giving this Christmas. I don't do cards. I don't really even want cards. Like, I know I sound like really ungrateful. Just don't really want them. They don't bring me joy. So, and in fact, in a way, for my anxiety, it probably makes me feel worse, because I'm like, oh, it's another card, like a tree's been chopped out for that. And so I think it's just important for us to really, really try and connect with the trees over this. And I'm sorry if you're not a tree hugger, like I now am, but it's important that we connect and we realise that things do get chopped down, things do suffer for our traditions. So let's try and change our traditions. Let's try and find another fun alternative that we can do instead. I mean, like my daughter, I'm trying to encourage her. Well, I did last year not to do cards for her friends, and we did one class card. This year, I am waiting for the school to announce their policy, which is why I've hopefully got in there early enough with suggestions. But again, even if they allow card giving, I don't want her to do that. And so I will encourage her to think of an alternative that we can do together. So it's still fun and enjoyable, but just changing up the tradition so it doesn't have such a big impact. Another idea is Christmas postcards where you keep the cards from last year and then you just cut off the writing and then you've just got the picture and then you can write on the back of the picture and you can send a postcard. No envelope needed. You could even post it literally with a stamp on it and it's a Christmas postcard. So that's another alternative, which is a really good way of reusing last year's cards actually. So I might do that. If I get cards this year, I might just keep hold of them so at least next year I can send some Christmas postcards. So anyway, that is it from me, I think. Have I missed anybody? Somebody said something. So that's it with my suggestions, and we are excited and apprehensive to hear what the schools have to say about our suggestions. And we hope that we make some impact, I suppose, this year. So if you would like to contact your school about Christmas cards and have your view on it, then please do. Basically, it takes us all to give our input. Schools don't, nobody, not schools, businesses, governments, nobody changes unless they have to, unless there's pressure to do so. So we need to put that pressure on. So anyway, that's it for me for now. And fingers crossed we get some good positive results from our school campaign. Bye.